Aloha, this is Matt Darnell with ComTel.Cloud, like up in the sky, joined by always with Greg Jackson. So, Greg Jackson, I heard you got a new laptop. What's that all about?
I did. I got a Dell 3591. Thought
That's
it
a
was going to
lot
be
of numbers.
awesome.
That's pretty
It
high.
is a lot of numbers. Yeah, it's a nice little laptop. I
It's a
ordered it kind of
3591?
yeah
Oh, it puts the
yeah.
3590 to shame.
Is there one? I don't know.
I mean, it's one better. Mine goes up to 11. But you told me that you bought it with 8 gigs of RAM and then you're juicing up to how much?
64, and then
Nice.
got I bought it with a 512 M2 drive, and then I just stuck in two 4 terabytes running RAID 1.
Nice. So
Yeah,
that's speedy machine. Speedy machine.
it
Fantastic.
is now. I had to. It took. There was a gap in time from the time I upgraded the hard drives to RAM. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
better as of 5 minutes ago.
Starting with 8 gigs can be kind of tough. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. As always, all these links will be down there in the description. So something that I think we could use here in America, and I've got some children, you've got some children, and under 16s in Australia, social media is gonna be banned. I think that's a step in the right direction. If it's across the board, everybody, it's not like they're gonna say my friends are doing it or everybody except me. It's everybody, and I think that is fantastic. Put down the phone, put down the laptop, put down the tablet, go outside. There's a whole big world out there.
Yep. Talk to your
And
kids. You can
wait,
also do that.
wait, you're allowed to talk to your kids? And then it makes you wonder, how do you think they're going to accomplish that? I mean, are you going to have to send an ID in the first time, like take a picture of an ID? I hope it's more than just a little checkbox that says, "Oh, by the way, I am over the age of 16." But they're talking about huge fines. I mean, 50 million Australian dollars. I think that's 85 cents American. But uh, yeah, but I mean, a lira that's pounds, 26 million pounds. That's more, I mean, that's $30 million dollars. If they have a systemic failure. So I applaud them. I mean, these kids are impressionable. It's leading to bullying. It's leading to,
Yeah,
just they see images of how they think the world is, how they're supposed to look, eating disorders, all there's some good things from and good things out there, but so many bad things. That I just want to shelter my kids from, and they don't need to know about that kind of stuff. It's going to hit them hard enough when it does.
that's right.
So, um,
Totally agree.
all right. So now let's talk about TikTok. So TikTok, they've been talking about for a while.
That's a good segue, Matt.
TikTok, right? That's
No,
why
I mean
they
you're going from band to TikTok from social media now. They might be on the list.
get. We're on the clock here, but anyway, that's why they pay me the big bucks. All right, so TikTok is gonna be banned here. They're trying to ban it in the U.S. And if it becomes a U.S. company, they kind of split it, and there's a U.S. and a Chinese part. I guess that they're gonna call that okay. But yeah, they want to force them to sell TikTok, and it would be here just for the U.S. Do you really think it's security that they're gathering information on children, on adults, and what you like, what you don't like, to use against us? Or is this business? What do you think ultimately drive? Is it how altruistic is it versus just sheer capitalism?
I think that there's a lot of politics involved, and I think that when you saw DJI with their drones and what they were doing and sending all the data back, it wouldn't surprise me that there would be partnerships. Just like our government has partnerships with startups and other public companies.
Yeah.
It's
Uh,
probably the same thing.
I'm sure where where your locations are. And again, for
Yeah.
99.99% of the people, it's absolutely who cares.
Yeah.
what what TikTok. I don't even have TikTok, but like I wonder like if Apple and Google Android would revoke the app certificate if they can do that and then have it wiped off your phone automatically.
Yeah.
Or what kind, or just an IP block, so people are going to have to use VPNs to get past the Great Wall of the United States to get to China. So it'd be interesting technically how they do that, and I always wondering why they do that. Okay, so this company here, um, Sauron, I guess that's from a movie, The Volcano or something. One of the bad guys in Harry Potter or something. One of those movies. They want to do home security. This is high-end home security where if they sent someone on your property, a drone launches literally with a spotlight and cameras and coming from all directions and facial recognition and all different um, a, you know kinds of security, and it's being watched from a central hub. And and they say that it's just a priority. Like when you look at that guy that shot that CEO just a little bit ago. I mean, home
Ooh, yeah.
invasions, and I think Joe Burrow, he's a quarterback in the NFL. His home got robbed. I mean, these folks are targets.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that whatever makes it cheaper to make people feel safe, I think that's a good thing. And I think it's a good use of technology. I don't know how they get around some of the laws of, not being able to just, maybe they plant the drone and it stays on property, but I know they can't, being able to dispatch a drone would be a little bit different. That'll be interesting.
Exactly. I mean, and I'm sure it's probably geofenced, and I've even seen drones, and I don't know if anything happened with it, but they will patrol your house
Yeah.
just like what's the vacuum cleaner? Um,
Roomba.
Yeah, Roomba. The
Yeah.
drones just all night long. Just they come back, they charge, another one takes off, and they're small drones, but they're taking pictures and having that. So it's amazing that they could raise $18 million just for home security. And when you compare that to security guard dedicated, it's a huge cost savings.
Huge.
Oh, so this gentleman here from Mustafa Suleiman, he's the CEO of the Microsoft AI. He thinks that conversational AI, that's going to take over for the web browser. Why am I going to search for something when in all these different websites, when I can just type it in to my chat GPT, or I'm sure this is not ChatGPT if it's Microsoft, but I can just even talk to it and ask it questions. Um, and that cert like Google is gonna go away because of, and I think they have Gemini, but the traditional way of searching is gonna be obsolete here within 10 years.
I really hope not. I think the internet has more to offer than being in central. As soon as you get everyone being controlled by one data repository like AI, I think that's a recipe for disaster. So I'm hoping, you know, search engines and crawling websites, and I hope that doesn't go away.
Like when I mean, for a while, I mean a long while, an internet time frame, 10 years. Google, in my opinion, was heads and tails above everything else. But
Yeah,
nowadays, when I every night I'll search DuckDuckGo or I'll search Bing and Google just to kind of see where they are, and it's leveled out. To the ability to find the good engines. But now with these large language models, whoever has the best. And it's not like if I go on X and I just search something that just happened, I get results right away. I don't know how long it's going to take for these to ingest everything, the amount of information being uploaded every second, to ingest it, catalog it, and be real time. I really have doubts. So this one here is something, we do here at ComTel.Cloud, like up in the sky.cloud. We do a lot of VoIP, and Teams is one of our offerings, good and bad. The Teams phone app for the phone, I think is absolutely horrible, one of the worst I've ever used. But on the desktop, it's phenomenal. Um,
that phone app is not. It's not the same as calling someone on Teams, right? It's an actual. You can call like dial a phone number.
it's the same part of the Teams app. The only difference is when you have a calling plan, there's a keypad, and
Oh, cool.
you can put in a phone number and hit dial, or just
Great.
type in their contact. So with just Teams, you can do a VoIP call. I call your Teams. With a
Hmm.
Teams calling plan, I'm able to call any number that I have. Like there's by default with their native calling plan, I have Canada, I think Mexico and the US. But you can, for not too much money, you can get an international calling plan and call
Wow.
like 56, 60 countries. But what they're going to add here is SMS here, where you can text folks. It doesn't really talk about how much it's going to be, but for dealing with, we do mostly business to business. But the folks that we have that are business to consumer and they have Teams Phone, they've been
Mm.
asking for this for so long. There are a lot of third-party apps, not a lot, but there are third-party kind of plugins that you can add to Teams that allow you to SMS and from within Teams. And but that's real hard because you gotta have your phone number go one way and your SMS go
Mm.
the other way, and it can get real confusing. You want to make a change, and all of a sudden it all breaks, and it takes weeks to sort out, and they lose coverage. So the fact that they'll be do that native is really going to help a lot of people. Now, this is something that I wouldn't have thought was possible. And, being in my mid 50s here, I remember, on the rooftops of bars in the late 70s and any place that had, satellite coverage. I mean, the dish to talk to a satellite was 20 feet wide. It was huge. And
Yeah.
now from a regular LTE phone, you'll be able to make and receive phone calls talking to a satellite. Like right now here in Hawaii, we have some roads. I mean, you leave downtown Honolulu when you go to the east side of the island, there's so many dead spots, because they don't have that. So if I was a cell company, I would absolutely be scared to death of being able to have that. So these low Earth orbit, which is still, I think, 100 miles a low Earth orbit, for these satellites.
It's
So
close.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they say it's only going to be about 10 megabits, but I mean, a phone call is what, 100 kilobits, and I mean, a Zoom is what, 4 or 5 meg? Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And the fact that you can do it on an Apple Watch, the fact that you have off-grid texting, and then be able to do that with a watch, that the watch can connect there to send. So the fact that it can receive is not that big a deal? Because I mean, you have a big enough transmitter, you don't need a very big receiver to do that. But the fact that I can have an app, any kind of watch, a watch, ultra watch like this, and this has enough transmit, and that satellite has got a
Yeah.
delicate enough receiver that I can talk to 100 miles. Yeah. And through the all the different parts of is just amazing. So every time I think Musk is done, stuff like this happens, and I'm all,
Yeah.
what? All right. Passwords. When we were growing up, you're gonna change your password every year. And it's this and that, and it's amazing when you see that change. I mean, now on Office 365, the big trend we're seeing that people are asking about is passwordless. There is no password. All you have is your Microsoft Authenticator that
Finger.
you have. Yeah, on your phone, and there's no password, literally no password. And in my heart, that hurts. That hurts my heart. What I think no more passwords, but yeah, it used to be it's got to be a billion characters and have this and that. Now they're saying there's no point that the computers, these brute force attacks are so smart, they're so fast, the dictionaries are getting so good that strong passwords aren't even worth it at all. What do you think?
Well, I mean, now that Google's got their fancy processor Willow out, yeah, you could probably work yourself through a lot of those passwords. I don't think you're going to be able to. There's going to be some people are going to be frustrated when somebody says, "Can you give me your password?" And no, can't give you my finger.
Uh, that's when you get a
That's
little
going to help a
piece of.
lot.
Don't you watch Mission Impossible? You get a little tape and you put the thing on the tape, and then you put the tape.
Yeah.
But yeah, But I mean,
Yeah.
what are you seeing in the enterprise world as far as password management and requirements, restrictions?
I'm seeing, for accounts, I'm seeing some people adjust the length to match the time. So if you want a longer time to reset, so I see 26 characters and I'll let you keep the password for a year, or you can have 16 characters and keep it for 3 months.
Wow.
So a lot of
Yeah.
people, they use common things like take your last password and triple it, and stuff like that. Really easy
And
stuff.
add an exclamation point at the end, and then another
Yeah.
exclamation point, and have that. Yeah. So password, something we're trying to struggle with. So again, I want to thank everybody for joining us here. Again, this is Matt Darnell with ComTel.Cloud, cloud like up in the sky. Thank you again, Mr. Jackson.
Take it
Yeah.
easy. Aloha.
All these links down there in the description. Enjoy. Aloha.